Man, I must have had a lot to drink last night because I do not remember falling asleep on the beach. And, wait. What happened to my clothes? Hey, well, you know what? It doesn't really matter. I mean, we're on a beach in the winter. What right do we have to complain? So, MRSSTIX and I have always been pretty big fans of the survival genre. We've played every new survival game announced over the last few years, and here we are in December 2020, jumping into yet another one. Tree of Life Oddria, an upcoming cooperative survival game. But before we go any further, I would like to thank the developers behind the game for providing us access to take a sponsored look at the game ahead of its test phase and launch next year. If you're interested in trying the game out, you can go ahead and click that link in the description or the pinned comment below to be taken directly to the game. Additionally, if the game looks exciting to you, you can go ahead here and wishlist it on Steam. So we begin the game waking up on a deserted island on the beach, completely naked, no gear, no weapons, no money, no memory of what happened or how we got here. But that is only temporary, as one would expect, we're capable of smacking trees and obtaining wood to begin crafting the necessary items for our ultimate domination of the island. So, we got wood, which, if you know me, shouldn't really be all that difficult to believe. We made our trusty torch and we begun to explore the island. We did notice, before going any further, that there was plenty to craft. There were basic items, crafting station structures to aid in the construction of your house. There were also various masteries that you could choose to invest into: adventure, crafting, community, and living. These masteries allowed for you to unlock additional items to craft, essentially acting as the main form of progression in the game. After we took the time to learn everything we could, we set out on our grand adventure. Smacking trees, smacking stones, smacking barrels, and then smacking some more trees. I mean, one might be led to believe here that we have a weird obsession with smacking trees, but I mean, this was taken from MRSSTIX's perspective, so I can't confirm nor deny any specifics. At a certain point, we unlock the ability to craft weapons and armor. Obviously, the first thing any adventurer should craft is a weapon, right? So we prepared a sword for our journey. Then we ran headfirst into the woods to begin engaging enemies, getting XP for murdering the wildlife on the island, not for food, but just to set an example to the rest of the woodland creatures. This is our island now, guys. Admittedly, the combat was pretty solid for a game in this stage of development. I noticed that the enemies we encountered, the shark guys, were mostly resistant to knockback and CC. You'd start smacking them and they'd pretty much just smack you right back, requiring you to either dodge, parry, or, well, just to soak up that damage. And considering the little we had on in terms of gear, it's probably ideal to attempt to defend in some form. There were a variety of different monsters on the island. There were slimes, goblins, spiders, street sharks. Yes, I am old enough where I can make that reference. Innocent little piggies, bunnies, baby chicks. There's also plenty to do on the island, and surprisingly, various different NPCs to meet and interact with. Typically in survival games, you're just like thrown into the world, you seek out resources, you craft, and that is essentially it. In Tree of Life, well, yeah, that is still the bulk of the game. It's refreshing to see that there are NPCs present as well. I don't know, like, it adds a little bit of personality to the game, in my opinion, and helps fill out the world with more than just everything kinda just being out there to kill you. Honestly, I was pleasantly surprised by what I saw playing through Tree of Life Oddria. I have always been a fan of survival games. Both MRSSTIX and I love playing through them. They provide a certain sense of freedom that really isn't replicated outside of this specific genre, and Tree of Life is no different. You have endless freedom to play how you want. You can spend most of your time hunting monsters, or you can slowly explore the enormous island you're presented with, crafting your own dream home. The game will feature full cooperative play, allowing groups of players to all coexist with one another peacefully. But maybe peacefully is asking a little bit too much here. We are all gamers after all. But you know what? We are all going to have to coexist, at least in some capacity. You'll either work together or you will struggle alone. But I feel like that's part of the fun of a survival game, right? Deciding how you want to play, forging allegiances, breaking alliances, making enemies, working together or against one another towards a common or even an uncommon goal. Now, this is still technically a work in progress, with Tree of Life having a planned release date of sometime during the first quarter of 2021. So you can bet there will be plenty expanded on by the time you ultimately get the chance to get in game yourself. Now, I am curious where Tree of Life Oddria is ultimately going to end up over the course of its development cycle, but I was incredibly appreciative to have been presented with this game ahead of time to test it out before it was released to the public. Again, if this does interest you, I urge you to go ahead and click that link in the description and the pinned comment below. And don't forget to wishlist the game. It is easy and will make sure you do not forget about it going into 2021. But that is just my opinion, my impressions of the game. What do you guys think? Does this look like something you might be interested in? Let me know down in the comments below and let's talk about it. Anyway guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all hard work's gonna be worth it.